who should be applauded is the president who did the most selfless thing that anybody's done since George Washington. And that's really the truth. And all the rest of it will be long gone and forgotten. And so I'm just very proud of where we are in the state of the world right now, which I think many people are surprised by. And I think we're all very excited for the future.
Let's dive into what is unquestionably Hollywood's most jaw-dropping scandal of 2024. George Clooney, once the undisputed king of charm, class, and cinematic prestige, now finds himself at the heart of a career crisis so explosive it could be mistaken for the plot of one of his own blockbuster thrillers. And the catalyst for this chaos? A feud so fiery, so shockingly public, that it has completely hijacked the industry's attention. Clooney's unexpected adversary in this real-life spectacle? None other than Bill Maher, the razor-tongued host of Real Time, a man as unfiltered as he is infamous. Before we break down this storm of bruised egos, betrayal, and high-profile humiliation, a quick thanks for tuning in. Now buckle up, because this Hollywood fiasco is about to hit turbulence. Clooney's downfall began with what was supposed to be a routine political advertisement. Before you cast your vote in this election, think about how it'll impact the people you care about the most.
Before you cast your vote in this election, think about how it'll impact the people you care about the most. Remember, you can vote any way you want, and no one will ever know.
Do your patriotic duty?
You bet I did, brother.
What happens in the booth stays in the booth.
Of applause, the ad crashed and burned. Not just criticized, utterly annihilated. Paid for by Vote Common Good, the message was intended to be a call to action. Instead, it became the internet's favorite punching bag. Accusations flew. Tone deaf, out of touch, painfully desperate. A simple miscalculation, maybe, but in the ruthless world of public perception, it was a nosedive off a cliff. Once upon a time, Clooney might have weathered such a storm. But Hollywood's rules have changed. The grace once extended to its icons has all but evaporated. In today's climate, one bad move can spiral into a career-ending catastrophe. Determined to regain control of his own narrative, Clooney did what any embattled A-lister would. He launched a media tour intent on setting the record straight. But if he thought this would be an easy fix, he was about to be very, very wrong. This wasn't just any media tour. This was high-stakes damage control. A do-or-die operation. Clooney's team devised a bold plan: secure a primetime appearance on Real Time with Bill Maher as the linchpin of his redemption arc. The strategy seemed foolproof. Clooney, ever the smooth-talking charmer, would take the stage, win over the audience with his signature wit, offer a heartfelt apology, and deliver exclusive political insights that would remind people why they once revered him, a masterclass in public relations. But there was just one problem. Bill Maher wasn't having any of it. When Clooney's team first approached Real Time producers with the proposal, they expected enthusiasm. Instead, Maher shut it down instantly. His reported response: "This isn't a platform for celebrity rehab." For Maher, the idea of Clooney using his show as a crisis management tool was laughable. Real Time prided itself on no-nonsense political discourse, not damage control for out-of-touch Hollywood elites. Still, Clooney's team wasn't ready to back down. They returned with a second pitch, this time emphasizing exclusivity. A one-time tell-all interview, explosive revelations, direct clapbacks at critics. A media spectacle guaranteed to dominate headlines for weeks. But Maher wasn't buying it. He saw right through the desperation. Hosting Clooney, he believed, wouldn't elevate the show's credibility. It would sink it. His loyal viewers tuned in for sharp political commentary, not a celebrity redemption arc disguised as an interview. As Maher reportedly put it, "Look, George Clooney might be a Hollywood heavyweight, but let's be real. He didn't single-handedly alter the course of the election. Celebrities talking politics might get attention, but they don't always move the needle where it counts." By now, Clooney's team was visibly rattled. The repeated rejections weren't just a setback, they were a public humiliation. Yet, rather than accept defeat, they went for one last attempt, a live, unscripted Q&A session where Clooney would field raw, unfiltered questions from the audience. The goal? To prove his sincerity, to engage directly with critics, to turn the tide of public opinion in real time. But if Clooney thought this final gamble would win over Maher, he was about to face an even harsher reality. Maher remained unmoved. He rejected the offer once again, and this is where things took a turn. After facing 3 consecutive refusals, Clooney himself decided to step in. This wasn't just about damage control anymore, it was about pride. He reached out to Maher directly, proposing a no-holds-barred, unscripted conversation, a chance to clear the air, man to man. But Maher didn't budge. In fact, insiders claim he told Clooney point-blank, "This show isn't a rehab clinic for Hollywood egos." For Maher, this wasn't just about maintaining his ratings. It was about protecting the integrity of his platform. And for Clooney, this wasn't just a professional setback, it was a personal humiliation. For decades, Clooney had been one of Hollywood's most beloved figures, a man who could get any door to open with nothing more than his signature smirk. Now, for the first time in his career, he found himself not only rejected, but publicly dismissed. And it stung. Behind the scenes, tensions escalated. Maher, never one to hold back, reportedly began mocking Clooney in private conversations. According to insiders, he joked that Clooney's persistence was borderline pathetic, comparing it to auditioning for a pity party. But the jabs didn't stay private for long. Word got back to Clooney, and he was livid. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, Maher took things a step further. During one of his show's monologues, Maher delivered a scathing critique of Hollywood elites desperately clawing for relevance, ridiculing actors who mistake political opinions for box office appeal. He never mentioned Clooney by name, but anyone following the feud knew exactly who he was talking about. Clooney, unwilling to let the insult go unanswered, turned to Plan B. His team began scrambling for alternative platforms, pitching him for appearances on The Howard Stern Show and other high-profile outlets. The battle wasn't over yet, but Clooney was running out of moves. However, even The Howard Stern Show, a platform infamous for its unfiltered tell-all interviews, seemed hesitant. Sources revealed that Stern's team was wary of tying the show to Clooney's spiraling public image. His name, once synonymous with Hollywood royalty, was now a PR minefield. And behind the scenes, Clooney was unraveling. An insider described him as being in full meltdown mode, not just furious with Maher, but lashing out at Hollywood as a whole. He feels betrayed, one source claimed, like the entire industry turned its back on him overnight. For a man whose career had been built on effortless charm, the sudden shift into anger and frustration was shocking. It wasn't just the media that had changed, it was Clooney himself. Meanwhile, Maher remained unshaken. Though he had yet to publicly name Clooney, the feud had become unmistakable. And for Maher, this wasn't just another Hollywood spat, it was a statement. By shutting the door on Clooney, Maher was cementing himself as a gatekeeper of authenticity, refusing to let his show become a platform for celebrity redemption arcs. And so, the battle between Clooney and Maher has erupted into Hollywood's defining controversy of the year. But this is about more than just one actor's misstep or a talk show host's defiance. It symbolizes a seismic shift in an industry where public sentiment and the relentless turn of social media can make or break even the most untouchable stars. Even icons like Clooney are discovering that the ground beneath them is anything but stable. With major studios distancing themselves and talk shows slamming their doors shut, Clooney's avenues are vanishing. The question now is simple. Can he pull off a comeback? Or is this the moment Hollywood finally turns the page on one of its brightest stars? One thing's for sure, this drama is far